Hello and welcome back. In this section, we are going to start with strings. Strings are the fourth section of our Python hands-on exercise in our GitHub, and you can start and follow along with me. Strings are going to be prominently used in Python programming, maybe in case when you are getting the data, acquiring, cleaning, parsing it, and also transferring it over APIs. We will be basically stringifying the JSON and send it to the users. So strings are loaded with functionalities, and there are a lot of functionality which we will be looking into, and we will be looking them one by one. So once I go inside this notebook files, then you can see that there are a lot of functionality which we will be learning, and functions how to operate over strings. May it be finding a substring or replacing some characteristics or finding index of it. We will be also seeing some of the regular expressions which commonly used to make the string search fast. So let's go ahead and look into those functionality one by one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new notebook, and I'm going to make the name of the notebook as string for Python. So I'll just rename it here, string for Python. So basically these notebooks are auto-saved. Sometimes when you are working on Jupyter Notebook, you have a lot of commands written there. Then it will be having some of the checkpoints inserted in between. You can also save your notebook so that you basically don't lose any information if you want to later on see those commands which you practice. So it's a good practice to always save in between so you can further review or refer these notebooks which you are just working now when you are actually going to work on this project core or any other major projects and want to refer the syntax what you experimented here. So let's go ahead and first look into what is basically string. Strings are ordered text-based data which are represented by an enclosed, double quotes, single quote, and in Python we do have a triple quote syntax. Now we are all familiar with strings if you have worked with any programming language like Java, JavaScript, and in Python also they mean the same. So if I have a string S, I can say Ajay is a string. I can also define it with a single quote. I will say is, and I can also use this triple quotes. What I will be able to do with triple quote is split my strings into multiple lines. Is the instructor for this course. So this is how you define a string, and basically we are also assigning a value with it. So I'm saying define. Let me do a simple operation. I executed it, and I want to just print S1 and S3. So S2 is missing here, but that's okay. So Ajay is the instructor of this course. So Ajay is the S and S1 string which came in the first line in single line, and S3 is actually split in multiple lines which is part of a string as well. Now the first operation which we will be seeing is the slice operation, which is similar to what we saw in the list. For example, if I have a string S4 and I say Python is good to know. And what I'm going to do now in the next line, in this tab, I will be slicing this string S4, and I want all the characters to be present starting from the fifth index, which is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So from n onwards, I need all the string. So I can use 6 and 7. So also discarding the space. And if I do that, is good to know. So I completely discarded this Python, and this is exact operation which we performed in list as well. And I can also do the reverse of it. I will say give me everything before 7, so it will give me just Python. So this is how you can use slice operation. It's exactly what we used in list as well. Now, some of the most common function like split we will see in coming few codes. That is more handy when you try to split a bigger string and split it with a specific character, which is space or tab, which you have. And that is going to be used predominantly in data parsing. Now let's see one by one all the command, and these commands are going to be used prominently. Now let's try to find one particular word within the string. So if I want to find Python in this S4 string, then I will say s4.find, and I will say here Python, and it will basically give me index of that particular location where it found. So I can also say good, and good basically start from the 10th index, and I can also verify it by saying s4 and what is the 10th index, and it will give me G because that is the first character of good. Now if you are not able to find that particular string, so if I saying great is not present in my string, then it will give me -1. Now let's look into few more variation of find here. Now what if we want to find not in the entire string but in few selective part of the string? Imagine if we are looking for this word good and I want to search this string starting from the index 5, then I will be passing an optional parameter 5 after good, which is what I want to search this string through, and I will be basically getting the value 10. And if I would make it 11, because the good is present from 10, and if I'm giving it 11, that means the search or the find operation will start from 11th index, and it will not be able to find good in the string. It will basically return me -1. So this is how you work. And also if you want to restrict within some index, the start index and the end index. For example, if I want my search to start till 7th index and only till 15th index, so it will be able to give me that part as well. Also I can mention 7 to 12 and it will basically return -1. If I say 7 to 14, it will be able to find that because good is ending at the 14th index. So find function has two optional arguments. The first argument is where you want your search to be started from, and the second index is where you want your search to be done till. Now after the find function, there's a very similar function which is present, which is commonly used, and it is actually the index function. Index function is the same as find function, but the only difference is that if it doesn't find the value you are looking for, it will give you an error instead of returning a -1. So let's try to run the same functions. So I will say great, and it's going to give me the value error because I didn't find great in my string. Let's try to search for good, and it is present in the number 10, the same output as what find function has given us. I can also pass the same argument which was present for the find function in the index function. So as you can see that it was not able to find the value, so it gave me a value error. If I do it 9, then it will give me the index 10 because we will be looking the search or starting the search from the index 9, which I have mentioned here. Same thing, I can pass two values to restrict where in the strings should my index function be looking for, and I get the output. So the functionality is same. The only difference is that it will throw you a value error if you are not able to find the substring within the string. In our main program, to make our searching within the string fast, we might be using regular expression, and those searches are very quick in nature. Hey there, check out UI5CN for awesome hands-on courses on enterprise technologies like SAP and more. To watch similar videos, subscribe to UI5CN YouTube channel.